I'm walking without a crutch. I'm getting around without anything on my knee. That's pretty cool. So in case you didn't see my last video, about 4 weeks ago, I had my ACL in my right knee repaired. A sporting injury just over a year ago meant that the ACL had completely ruptured, torn in half, and it needed repairing. I spent 2 weeks not in work. I was basically on the sofa with my leg up, compressing it with ice and things like that. I came back into work for the first time last week, but was very much hobbling around on a crutch. But now I am able to walk. I've started doing some very gentle exercises, and this weekend I've got some physio. So we're getting there. But today's video is not got anything to do with my knee. I will do a separate update video on that at some point. Today I'm going to be speaking about inspections, the bane of every teacher's life. Now, inspections are inevitable. They happen in every school across the entire world. And it makes sense, right? Local governments and agencies want to make sure that schools and colleges are meeting the expectation and that the education and support provided is the best for the children. But how often in the UAE do schools get inspected? Well, that varies. It depends on where you are, but it is a little bit more often than I think you'd expect. So I want to talk a little bit about that. So if you're planning on moving out here or you're thinking about it, you at least have a clear picture as to the inspection schedule and, you know, if you're going to get inspected, what to prepare for. Now, when you're preparing for an inspection, a few things tend to happen out here in the UAE. The first thing that I've experienced is you end up in a lot more meetings. We end up talking about data, we talk about how the children have progressed, the key focuses, the overall college development plan. And if you're looking for a position of leadership, I, for instance, am currently the head of Year 4. I'm also the head of Department for Science. There are additional meetings on top of your meetings as a teacher to talk about your area, your subject, your year group, how that's progressing. So there are a lot more meetings that happen in general. On top of that, as you would expect, all of your lessons need to show the teaching standards. You need to be thinking about how you're progressing the children and the key areas that you want the inspectors to see you succeed in. So you have to be producing lesson plans, and those lesson plans need to be followed very clearly. You need to show that your books are all marked and up to date, that your children are showing progression within the lesson. There's quite a lot. Now, to be honest, most of the stuff that you're expected to show are things that you probably already do as a teacher. It's the small admin stuff that teachers kind of, you know, they do, but not necessarily as detailed. That has to be on point, detailed, printed, ready. It's quite a lot more work. Yeah. So how often are these inspections? Well, there are a few different types. Now, in the UK, just as a comparison, we have Ofsted. And Ofsted tend to come around every few years, and it really depends on what your previous Ofsted inspection showed as to how frequently you are then checked again. If you are considered outstanding or very good, you can expect it will be a few years, but if you are good, acceptable, or requires improvement, then the chances are they will come the following year until they have seen the improvements that they expect. Out here in the UAE, however, it is usually every year or every other year, probably what you can expect. And as a slight side note, I will also add that there are multiple types of inspections. Because we're in the UAE, one of the inspections that we have that will be coming up for our college soon is the National Identity Mark. As part of teaching here in the UAE, we really need to focus on what it is to live in the United Arab Emirates, what it is to live in an Islamic state, what it is to live in this country. And so throughout our teaching, we have to drip feed and include lots of culturally relevant information and things for the children. Promotes the country, promotes, you know, national citizenship and things like that. And so there is a committee that come around to make sure that we're doing that effectively. So it's not just the ADEC or KHDA, if you're down in Dubai, that inspect your overall school. There are other inspections that happen too. Yeah, just as a little side note. Right, it's Friday. It is a half day. We finish at 12. But there's a lot of things to do. I've got some parent meetings. I've got lots of different things going on this morning, so I'd better get stuck in. And I am finally back home. I've got my feet up, I've changed, I'm relaxed. And that's it. That's the end of the week. Fridays are always usually quite a good day for me for a few reasons. The lessons and the structure of the day is very nice for me. Today specifically, I had a number of meetings, both with other colleagues as well as with some parents that were successful. So I've ended the week on a positive note, I think, which is good. So I feel like I've spoken already at reasonable length this morning about what it is to be a teacher in the UAE and how the inspections differ here to what they're like in the UK, obviously with Ofsted. Now, there are two different types of inspections. We've got KHDA, which is predominantly down in Dubai, and here in Abu Dhabi we have ADEC, and they will come into the school in the same way that Ofsted does in the UK. They're looking to see how well the school is running, and that extends from the leadership and the management through to the individual teachers, middle leaders, and so on. Now, they are comprehensive. It is a very comprehensive review, and for a lot of independent schools out here, they're wanting to get the very good or outstanding because it's a score, it's a rating that they can then publish and promote to potential parents that will want to send their children to the school. So, there is a big onus on making sure that we provide the very best during the inspection, and every school wants to be outstanding. Makes sense, really. So I've actually experienced a couple of different inspections during my time here in Al Ain, and whilst it is more work, and yes, it is stressful, there's a lot to think about, there's a lot more planning to do. We have to be very mindful of the children that we've got and the potential fact that in any moment someone could come in and inspect you and, ask you lots of questions and things like that. I personally have felt quite well supported. I feel as though my school has provided lots of information, has provided support, has done PPA with us, and personally I felt supported. Now, that's not taking away from the fact it's stressful. All inspections are, but I have felt well supported. So if you are thinking about coming over here to the UAE and inspections and things like that are on your mind, obviously I've given you lots of information, but as long as you're in a school that you feel is well supportive, full stop, that will be no different during an inspection. So that's just something to bear in mind. Okay, so that is the end of today's video. I hope you found it useful. If you've got any questions about inspections and about moving out here to teach, please let me know. I am going to do a couple more videos over the next couple of weeks talking about teaching, because it is coming to that time of year again where if you want a job, whether you're already in the UAE or whether you're further afield, the jobs are going to start coming in thick and fast. And I've already noticed that there are many schools around the area that are putting up positions either for a January start or for the start of the next academic year. So I will do a video on that, but for now I'm going to end it here. Like I say, if you have any questions, subscribe, comment, follow me over on Instagram, send me any messages, and I will endeavour to get back to you. But for now, I'm going to enjoy the weekend. Bye.